So let's discuss them. Let's discuss what are the different approaches of calling a function. So we have different types of calling. So we have call by value. We have call by reference. These two approaches we have. Let's see them one by one with example. So what is call by value in C? In call by value method, the value of the actual parameters is copied into the formal parameters. In other words, we can say that the value of the variable is used in the function called in the call by value method. Let me write it. In call by value method, the value of the actual parameter is copied to the formal parameters. That is, the value of the variable is used in call by value method. You have to understand what is this formal parameter and what is this actual parameter first. These are the two types of parameters we use in functions. So yesterday I was telling you, right? We have to declare the function, we have to define the function, then we have to call the function. Now, when we declare the function or when we define the function, the parameters used here is called formal parameters. Okay, when we define or declare the function, the parameters used are called formal parameters. And when we call the function here, the parameters used here is called actual parameters. Okay, I will show you with example later. So this is what happens in the call by value. Now, one more point I want to tell you. In call by value method, we cannot modify the value of the actual parameter by the parameter. Why? Let's see. Here, different memory is allocated for actual and different memory is allocated for actual and formal parameters. Okay, so here, this is very important. The memory allocated is different for actual and formal parameters. Let's see an example. We will define a function called change. Okay, the function name is change. We will pass one parameter here called number. So this is the formal parameter. Okay, so as you can see, a memory space will be allocated for this variable number. Now, what do we write inside this function? We will write printf before changing the value inside the function, number equals %t. Now we will add some value to this. We will add 100 to the number, whatever it is. Then we will print another print statement here after changing the value. Changing the value inside function, the number is this much. Okay, let me close this. Now I will write the main function. Here I will declare a variable called x, that is 100 with the value 100. Now here also I will use a print statement before function called equals this much. Then we will call the function. Now, since we have defined one parameter in the function definition, we should also use a parameter when we call the function. Okay. So I will use this x here. So this is the actual parameter, as you can see. Then again, I will use another print statement after function. So then I will write return 0. Yes. Read these lines carefully. Understand what's happening here. So this is a function definition where we have allocated a memory for this variable number, correct? That is the first thing. And here also we have allocated memory for another variable called x. So there are two memory allocations done here. And what we have written inside the function, we have told whatever variable you get, add 100 to that. That's all. Print the value before adding 100 and print the value after adding 100. So this is what we have done in the function. And in the main function, we have defined a variable called x. The value is 100. Now, what is the value of x before the function is called? It is 100. Okay. And we are calling the function here, x. Now, after we call the function, what will be the value of x? Okay. So here we cannot write number, we have to write x. Right? Observe this function. So that's what I told you. In call by value, the actual parameter is copied to the formal parameter, right? So here, when we call this function, this value will be copied to the formal parameter and it is unchanged. Okay, so let's see if it works. So try out this example in the compiler to understand the call by value. And these are the points for call by reference. So we have executed this program. The online compiler to understand the concept better for call by value. Check this program. Let's understand the call by reference now. So let's see how we can work with call by reference. So we have declared a variable called num of pointer type. It's a pointer. Then after changing the value, number equals this much. Main. Let's see if it works. Okay, we have to make it change ampersand. Here we are calling to the address. Okay. Okay. So we have to write pointer everywhere. Okay. So this is how to access the value. Ampersand denotes address, whereas star denotes pointer. Okay. So here you can see the values are changed in all the locations. So this is the call by reference. Right. Next, what is a pointer? So because we have used pointer in these examples, let's understand what is a pointer. Okay. So pointers are very important in C programming language. It's a variable that stores memory address. Okay. This is a basic definition. It also has a name and some space is occupied in the memory. Now, if it stores the address, then how to access the value? Okay. Let's see. Now, when I write int I equals 10, it tells the compiler to reserve space in the memory to hold the integer value. Then associate the name I with the memory location. then stores the value I at this location. Then, so I is the location name, 9 is the value stored at that location. Maybe the address, you can just imagine the address is 1000. Okay, it's the address where the value is stored. Just imagine the address is 1000. Okay, now let me write it here. Now let's see a program. Int I equals 9. So to print the address of I, we have to write ampersand I. Okay, and it is percentage U unsigned int, and the value of I. Let's run this. So you can see the address is something, the value is 9 anyways. Okay. So, and I returns the address, whereas I returns the value. Now to print the value, there is another way using pointer. The value of I is percentage D, that is star of ampersand I. This star will point to the value stored in this address. Okay. Pointer, the star will access, it will point to the value stored in this address. So 9 is stored in this address, right? The value is 9. So let's run this again. So you see, it's the same thing. So read this. This is how we can start with the pointer. Next, we will discuss about array. So as the name says, array is a collection of elements having same data type. So it's not always enough to declare variable to hold a single value. Many times you need to declare a variable which can hold multiple values in it, a series of values, a collection of values. So we can do that using the array. An array can hold any number of elements like 100 elements, 50 elements, 10 values like this. And in array, what is an index? Index is simply the location where the values are stored. Okay. The location where the values are stored. Index always starts with 0. Okay, the index always starts with 0. And it will go till the size of the array -1. Array elements occupy contiguous memory locations. Okay. For example, I will write int array of 10 equals 5, 3, 1, 4, 2, 6, 9, 8, 7, 0. You can write any values. So this is an array that contains 10 values. Now, as I told you, the index always starts from 0. The index of 5 is 0. The index of 3 is 1. And it goes on like this. Okay, you can see. These are the index. So it starts with 0 and goes till the size of the array -1. This array has 10 elements. So the final index value will be 9. We can also have single dimension array. We can also have 2-dimension array. We can also have multiple dimension array. The multiple dimension array, we can call it as a matrix. Now let's see a program using array. Int sum equals 0, average. Int I, int marks of 10. So this is an array here. Now, to print the values of array, we have to use the loop, okay? Because we have to print multiple values, we have to use a loop. So let me use the for loop. For I equals 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. What I'm doing here, I'm printing the values of the array. So before that, what I will do, let me input the values of this array. So for that, I will copy this for loop. First, I will write print, enter the values of the array. Again, this is to print the array. Now, I want to add all these values. Okay, so to do any operation, to enter, to display, or to do any operation, we have to use the for loop. What is the formula? Sum equals sum plus x of I. Okay, then print the sum once. Let me not use the average. Sum is enough. Let's see if it works. Semicolon here, here. Enter the values of the array. Just taking too many values. Less than 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See. So it's not taking 11 because the size is only 10. So you can see this. I have to enter the value 10 times. So this is that to input the array. Then it will display this message, the values of the array are, and again it will loop to print 10 values as it is, okay, till 10. Then it will again loop to add all those values one by one to the sum. The sum is 55, okay. So this is how we can use the arrays.